Anybody who looks at this car sees the same thing. An old daily driver. Or maybe a cheap platform with some off-road potential, but take three guys with a passion for cars and making YouTube videos.
They just launch it.
Yeah. And they see something completely out of the ordinary. That's exactly what K2A Media did, because beneath the outdoorsy exterior was a platform engineered in Honda's most performance-obsessive era, the 90s. With Honda quietly giving it parts shared with cars enthusiasts worship today, a second identity started to form. Instead of lifting it, they went the opposite direction. Instead of trails, they chased speed. Somehow, they turned it into a 400 horsepower sleeper that nobody saw coming. And at the center of it all, there it was, the RD1 Honda CR-V. Produced from 1997 to 2001, the first-generation CR-V, also called the RD1, was never meant to be exciting. It was marketed as a practical crossover daily driver, something dependable, comfortable, with some off-roading DNA.
Would you swim with dolphins? Would you sleep under the stars? Would you wrestle with a river? Would you search for lost civilization?
But if you took a closer look, something stood out. It was light for an SUV, exceptionally well balanced, and underneath it all was an engine and drivetrain most Honda enthusiasts could only dream of getting straight from the factory. While everyone else was focused on Civics and Integras, platforms already known for their chassis and their ability to make serious power reliably, K2A saw something different in the CR-V, something almost no one else noticed. Honda didn't engineer the RD1 like a utility vehicle. They engineered it like a car. And that single decision changed everything. Under that unassuming chassis, the RD1 CR-V came with the legendary B20, a 2.0-liter inline-4 making around 130 horsepower and 130 pound-feet of torque, depending on the year. On paper, those numbers didn't turn heads, but that was never the point. What mattered was how it made power, smooth, durable, and overbuilt, in a way Honda was famous for in the 90s. An engine designed to take abuse, an engine with headroom. It was a foundation. Now that power moves through a 5-speed manual and it doesn't stop at the front wheels, it feeds into a full-time all-wheel drive system, not something that switches on when things go wrong. It's always there, always working, always distributing power. Most enthusiasts look at the CR-V and see just one thing: a donor car, a way to steal its all-wheel drive system and move on. But K2A saw it differently. They didn't strip it. They didn't part it out. They built on the CR-V platform. That all-wheel drive system, even with a bit of extra weight, meant something important. In theory, you could put power down without fighting the wheel, and when conditions got worse, the car didn't. This is where the CR-V stopped being misunderstood and finally got room to prove itself. Because when you combine an engine designed to survive abuse, a manual gearbox that puts the driver back in control, and an all-wheel drive system that never disengages, you don't get a compromise, you get a golden platform. This is where the idea stopped being theoretical, because knowing the platform was capable is one thing, actually pushing it and making it a reality is another. K2A didn't start by chasing numbers. They started by addressing the only real limitation: the engine. The stock B20 was tough, but it was never designed to live on boost long-term at the power level they had in mind. So instead of forcing it to survive something it wasn't built for, they swapped in a fully built B18 B1. That choice wasn't random. Thicker cylinder walls, proven reliability under boost, massive aftermarket support, it was the right foundation, especially for E85, where higher cylinder pressures demand strength and consistency. Once the foundation was right, everything else could scale. A Pulsar GTX3 076R Turbo became the heart of the setup, large enough to move serious air, responsive enough to keep the car usable. No lag monster, just clean, controllable boost. Running E85 changed everything. Higher octane, cooler combustion temps, knock resistance. It allowed the motor to run aggressive timing and boost safely. Fueling was handled right from the start. 1,000 cubic centimeters injectors, Walbro 450 fuel pump, just enough headroom to support power without stressing the system. Before we go any further, if you want the full build and to see it in action, their channel is linked below. The result? A RD1 CR-V making 400 horsepower on a conservative tune. All-wheel drive, manual, reliable, and insanely fast. This is the part that makes the entire build special. Not the dyno sheet, not the parts list, not even the power figure. It's the deception. Because at a glance, this CR-V looks like exactly what people expect it to be. A practical crossover, a grocery getter, something you park and forget about. There's nothing screaming that it's fast. From the outside, it still lives in the mental category people assigned it over 20 years ago. And that's the trap. The sleeper factor works because expectations are locked in. When most drivers line up next to a CR-V, they aren't thinking about power delivery, drivetrain efficiency, or boost response. They're thinking they're about to leave it behind without effort. That moment, when confidence turns into confusion, is where this build comes alive. All-wheel drive plays a huge role here. Unlike front-wheel drive sleepers that rely on traction tricks or perfect launches, this CR-V simply goes. No wheel spin drama, no fighting the steering wheel, just forward motion, clean and violent. The kind that makes faster-looking cars hesitate and slower-looking cars panic. What makes it even better is how usable it is. This isn't a stripped-out drag shell that only exists for one purpose. It's still a CR-V at heart. Upright seating, usable space, and a chassis that doesn't punish you for driving it. That contrast is what turns surprise into disbelief, and that's what a true sleeper does. It doesn't announce itself, it waits. The moment someone realizes what they're actually dealing with is already too late.
You behave yourself, Angus.
Rear seats that fold down to create over 67 cubic feet of cargo space and an all-too-convenient retractable tray table.
Good dog.
The CR-V from Honda.
So when you look back at this build, it's not just about a 400 horsepower CR-V, it's about perspective. It's about realizing that one of the most overlooked platforms of its era was engineered with the same care, balance, and durability as the cars enthusiasts celebrate today. It's about understanding that performance isn't always obvious, and that some of the most exciting builds come from places nobody thinks to look. K2A Media didn't just modify a car, they redefined it. They took something misunderstood and gave it room to speak for itself. And when it did, it said something loud. Huge shout out to K2A Media for proving what the RD1 CR-V was always capable of. If you want to see the full build, the races, and everything they've done with it, their channel is linked in the description. Go show them some love and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let me know, what other overlooked platforms deserve a second look? Because sometimes the most interesting cars aren't the ones everyone talks about. They're the ones nobody saw coming.